Ever get that feeling like you've been picked for something special?
Yeah, like chosen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Or
Whether
the.
it's for like a team or a project or maybe just like a certain path in life,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of weighty, right? Like there's this sense of responsibility that comes with it.
Definitely. It's an honor, but it's also like, whoa,
Yeah.
big shoes to fill.
Huge. And that's actually what we're diving into today, this whole idea of being chosen and how to handle that privilege, with grace and purpose and all that.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing it through a bit of a different lens this time. We're looking at excerpts from a daily devotion. You familiar with those?
Oh, yeah. Those are like those little daily readings, right? For
Oh, yeah.
reflection and stuff.
Exactly. And this one is called Living the Calling with Joy.
Sounds pretty uplifting.
Yeah, and it's based on the book of Amos, specifically chapter 3, verses 1 through 15.
Okay, Amos.
Yep. And there's this key verse, verse 8, that really sets the tone. The lion has roared, who will not fear? The sovereign Lord has spoken. Who can but prophesy? Heavy stuff.
Powerful imagery for sure.
So as we dug into this, what really struck us was this core idea of understanding what it means to be chosen and how we can approach that in our own lives. With humility, joy, purpose, that kind of thing.
Right, because even outside of a strictly religious context,
Yeah.
that feeling of being selected for something often comes with certain expectations, right?
Exactly. It's not just like, oh, yay, I'm special. It's like, okay, now what? What am I supposed to do with this?
That's the question, isn't it?
Totally. And as we went through this devotional, two big themes kind of jumped out at us.
Oh.
First, the responsibility that comes with being chosen. And second, the importance of recognizing when something bigger, might be guiding us.
I like that. So like recognizing the signs, the whispers, the nudges from the universe, or however you see it.
Exactly.
Oh, well.
So let's dive into that first one, the responsibility thing. The devotional really zeroes in on verse 2 of Amos 3, where it says, God tells Israel, you only have I chosen, therefore I will punish you.
Okay, so that's a little intense right off the bat.
Yeah, it can sound kind of harsh, like, I picked you, so now you're in trouble. But the devotional has an interesting take on it.
So really?
Yeah, it says this isn't about anger or being vindictive, but more about love and high expectations.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
It's like saying, because I see your potential, because I value you, I'm going to hold you to a higher standard.
Right. Because you believe they're capable of more. Like a coach pushing their star player.
Exactly. And the devotional connects this to us. It says, if we feel connected to something bigger than ourselves, whether that's God or a certain set of values or whatever, it's not just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It's also a call to live differently.
Mm-hmm. Our actions have more weight. They reflect not just on us, but on those values we hold dear.
Exactly. And the devotional really emphasizes this, saying, if we believe we carry his name, his truth, and his light, our choices inevitably carry more weight. So it's not just about us anymore. It's about how we represent something bigger.
Powerful stuff. So, our actions become a sort of testimony to what we believe in. Right. And then there's this whole concept of discipline, which can be a bit tricky. But the devotional frames it not as rejection or punishment, but as a process of shaping and refining us so we can fulfill our purpose.
Okay, I like that. Like a sculptor chipping away at the stone to reveal the masterpiece inside.
Totally. It's less about being bad and more about being guided, mentored, challenged to grow.
Mm-hmm. Makes you see those tough times in a whole new light, huh?
Yeah, for sure. So how do we actually live this out? How do we embrace this calling, this responsibility in a way that's joyful and faithful to those values?
Right, because it shouldn't feel like a burden.
Totally. So the devotional lays out some practical steps. The first one is about aligning your heart, your inner motivation with those guiding principles, not out of fear, but out of genuine desire.
Right. It's got to come from within. It can't be just about avoiding punishment.
Exactly. It's about wanting to be in harmony with those values because they resonate with you on a deep level.
Okay, so that's step one.
Yeah.
What else?
Well, the next thing the devotional highlights is community. Things like being part of a church, small groups, having mentors, surrounding yourself with people who share similar values and can support you on your journey.
Oh, yeah, that's huge. Like having a tribe, people who get it, who can challenge you and encourage you.
Exactly. It's about shared growth and accountability. Having people to bounce ideas off of, to celebrate with, to cry with, to just walk through life with.
And to keep you honest with yourself, too. Sometimes we need that outside perspective.
Absolutely. And the third practical step the devotional mentions is about modeling the calling. like living in a way that visibly demonstrates your beliefs.
Right, so it's not just about talking the talk, but also walking the walk.
Exactly. It's about embodying those principles in your actions and interactions with others.
So like being a living example of what you believe in.
Exactly. And when you put all of that together, it reframes this whole idea of being chosen, doesn't it? It's not just about personal recognition. It's about stepping into something bigger than yourself, something meaningful, something that has the potential to make a real difference.
Makes you think about all those times you felt that pull towards something, that sense of purpose. Maybe that was a little nudge in the right direction.
Totally. Okay, so that was the responsibility side of things. Now let's talk about that second big theme, the whole recognizing guidance thing.
Oh, yeah. This is where things get a little mystical.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But the devotional grounds it in the text, going back to Amos 3 and emphasizing that God doesn't leave his people in the dark. He speaks clearly and consistently.
Okay, so this was back in the day, right? Like with prophets and stuff.
Yeah. It's important to remember the historical context. God was communicating with the Israelites through prophets like Amos, but also through events, through circumstances.
Yeah.
And the point is, it wasn't about condemnation. It was about invitation. Like, hey, remember who you are, remember what we're about, come back.
Okay, so how does that translate to us today? Do we need to go find a prophet on a mountaintop or something?
Uh-huh. Well, the devotional actually makes a really interesting connection to the present. It says, God still speaks today, but maybe not always through prophets in robes and sandals.
Right, times have changed a bit.
Yeah. And it points to different channels, scripture, the wisdom of people around us, prayer, even the circumstances we find ourselves in. It's pretty broad.
So guidance can come in many forms. It's not always a booming voice from the heavens. It can be a quiet whisper, a chance encounter, a sudden realization.
Exactly. And then the devotional hits us with this direct question. The question is, are we listening?
Oh, man. That's a good one. Because even if the signs are all around us, are we tuned in enough to notice them? Are we open to receiving them?
That's the challenge, right? We're often so busy, so distracted that we miss those subtle nudges, those whispers of guidance. So the devotional offers some practical tips on how to become better listeners.
Okay, at all ears.
The first one is to be rooted in Scripture, meaning these ancient texts offer ongoing wisdom and can help illuminate our path forward.
So like having a solid foundation to refer back to.
Exactly. It's about having a consistent set of principles to help us navigate life's complexities and discern what's truly important.
Makes sense.
What else? One other suggestion is to be intentional during dedicated times, like religious services or personal quiet time, to really be present, open, and receptive to insights or revelations that might come up.
Right, so it's not just about going through the motions, it's about creating space for those aha moments.
Exactly. And then the final practical tip is one that I find really valuable. It's the practice of reflection, especially during tough times.
Oh yeah, like when things get messy.
Yeah. The devotional encourages us to ask ourselves, what am I learning from this? What is this situation trying to teach me? It's about finding meaning even in adversity.
So instead of just reacting, we step back and try to understand the bigger picture.
Exactly. It's about looking for those lessons, those hidden blessings that might be woven into the fabric of our challenges.
Deep. So the takeaway here is that guidance is all around us. It's not rare or inaccessible. The real question is, are we paying attention?
Yeah. Are we tuned in? Are we ready to receive? The devotional assures us that God's voice isn't far, it's near and clear. It's up to us to listen.
It's like having a radio that's always playing the best music, but we just haven't bothered to turn it on.
Perfect analogy. So to wrap up our deep dive into this daily devotion, the two big takeaways are this. First, being chosen for something special comes with responsibility, but it's not a burden. It's an honor, a privilege, an opportunity to grow and make a difference.
And that responsibility flows from a place of love and high expectations. It's not about being perfect. It's about striving to live in alignment with those values that resonate with us.
Exactly. And the second big takeaway is that guidance is available to us. It's woven into the fabric of our lives. But we need to be intentional about listening, reflecting, and seeking understanding.
And the devotional sums it all up beautifully with its one word.
Oh yeah, I love that they do that. What was it for this one?
Chosen for a purpose and called to reflect his heart.
Wow, that's powerful. Really drives home the point.
So to leave you with a final thought, one to ponder as you go about your day, what are some subtle signs you might be overlooking? What roaring lion or spoken word, whether it's a feeling, an event, or a piece of advice, might be trying to get your attention?
It's worth taking a moment to consider. You never know what insights might be waiting to be discovered.
You never know.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Until next time.
Take care.